Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. In today's video, we are back inside of Lazy, which is a new note-taking app. I did one video on this year, or I think I may have done two videos, plus the one about their web version. I'm currently not subscribed to Lazy, but the subscription plan is an early supporter plan, which will set you back 30 USD for 3 months, so $10 each month. And we are going to talk a little bit about the application in general, and then we are going to actually talk a little bit about some of the issues and some of the things they need to fix. So basically, the way this works is that it is sort of like a read it later application where you have an inbox and you have one for process later, and you can actually use keyboard shortcuts to process things. As you can see to the right here, like this is a keyboard shortcut heavy application. And the point is that you should be able to move through things quite quickly. But apart from that, you actually have task management inside of here as well. You have a journal, which is basically daily notes. So I can go in here and I can write my daily notes with a heat map here to see all of my different daily notes. And one of the things you can do in these daily notes and in the notes in general is backlinking. So I can link different things and ideas together. But here you can see like the heat map. I used this until May. I really wanted it to work and I thought that it was a really good application, but I got an issue around here. This was actually right after my birthday, and the main issue here was that I was working on a podcast episode where I did a lot of research. I took a lot of notes. I have written questions to my guest, and then I used the AI inside of the application because you can click into one of your notes and you can do backslash, and then you can write. So I could do backslash and then I can use the AI to actually help me or fix my grammar in my case. So do backslash mark everything and fix my grammar. So ask the AI to fix my grammar. And what happened is that it fixed my grammar, but when I closed the application and came back, I actually lost all of the notes in that card. That is fixed now, but with this, and just like any other application like this, which is really new, you have to expect a few bugs. But a major one, like losing my notes, is it is such a big deal that I can't live with something like that. I can't live with the idea of not trusting my note-taking app because I feel like that defeats the whole purpose of it. So that's why I stopped using it. But the idea of having things like tasks, having cards, I really like card views in general. So all of these are cards I can click into. Let's try again. I can actually click into these and open up new cards. Here I can see the different connections and I can see the serendipity that is, think of that as like unconnected, like you haven't used a double square brackets, but you've had this exact sentence in one of your different notes. So if I had my struggles with calendar blocking inside of any other note, that would show up here. That is serendipity. So basically, unconnected mentions of this will appear in serendipity. I can quickly move back and forward using keyboard shortcut commands. One thing that is a huge issue or have been a huge issue is that these commands do not necessarily work on the web version, which is still in beta. So I'm pressing J, and you can see that this right here, it actually something actually happens, but it does not actually move the thing. While if I do like this, it moves, but here I can't move things. Here you also have another example of backlinking. So this is linked to something, and here you can see what everything is sort of linked too. So you can see the different links inside of there as well, which is great. That is great for serendipity as well, to be able to see all of your connections, but it is also expected in an application like this. But here, if I now jump into, let's actually open up my resources and jump into, let's see if we can find some. This is a note-taking app, but I have some books I really wanted to find, because this application also has, it also has a Readwise or a Kindle, actually a Kindle connection. So you can connect your Kindle to this and you can find all of your book notes. Here you can actually see them displayed in my inbox. I can click this and it will actually open up my book and I can see all of my highlights. You can also see the Creative Act right here. I can, apart from that, I can see where this is connected to. So I have a YouTube video right here it is connected to. I also have this tweet that it is connected to, I think. And here you have planting idea seed, which is a note I took. So I felt like I took much better notes inside of an application like this, but that might just be me prioritizing taking notes. The huge issues with the web version is that the keyboard shortcut commands aren't as good, but here they have done some improvements to it. So now the keyboard shortcut commands actually work on the web version as well. This is not an application tailored towards people who use Windows and Android devices. This is more towards people who use iOS and Mac apps. But the idea of this application is really good. So the point here is that it wants you to quickly capture things, because you can capture within the application on the Mac. I can quite easily just capture things. So using keyboard shortcut commands, I can capture everything from like YouTube video and it will transcribe that part for me. I can capture things from an article quite easily and I can use the AI to rephrase things for me. So a lot of things like that you can actually do within this application, which is great. Uh, and I also love some of the features it has, like with this serendipity of having things show up right here, but it also has a few issues. The main issue I've seen with this is actually the fact that uh, things do not necessarily always work. There are a lot of bugs, but it is in a really early stage, so you have to keep that in mind. So that is the first thing. The second thing is the fact that it is mostly tailored toward iOS and Mac, but that isn't even as important. The third thing is that they are really slow at getting out these invites, because this is an invite application, so you have to get an invite to it, and they have been so slow with giving out the invites for this application, and I haven't used it in a while now, but I can see some improvements in the web version, which is really important to me to see an application develop. This is one of the applications I'm the most excited about going into the next year, because I think this removes the need for having something like a read it later application, for example, or having Readwise, for example, isn't as necessary when you have something like this, because it does such a good job at capturing. So the idea is really good, and that is why I'm keeping my eye on it to see whether or not this application can actually execute to the level it should, for us to actually use this as our daily drivers, for those of us who mainly use Macs and iPhones or iOS devices for taking notes. That covers all of my thoughts around Lazy going into the next year, but I think the application is really good, but I still think that it needs a lot of work until it is at the level where I would be able to recommend this as a great note-taking app. I think the idea is great. I think it has a lot of great features, but there are still ways to go. That covers it for today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below and I will try to get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching today's video.